Hey everybody, this is Shirlene with Sue's Crafty World,
.com.
a real store. And today we are coming to you with our love story. Me and Mr. Bob have been married 20 years, September 1st. And we thought we'd share some of us with you. So, honey, what is the first question?
How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Well, back in the day when chat rooms were a thing, there was a chat site called My Way.
Yes.
And we happened to cross paths with each other in the course of chatting with everybody and sundry.
Yes, and I will say that I found it weird that whenever I got in the chat rooms and I saw his handle, it would kind of light up, almost glow. And I always made sure I said hi to him. Didn't know why it would stand out to me, but he did. And I know it's weird, you guys. The Lord works in mysterious ways. And so we soon developed a friendship.
Yeah, we did.
And so we had this lovely friendship, and soon we started talking on the side. You can open up a private chat room for just you and that individual.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized we had some things in common.
And then so we swapped phone numbers and
Well,
we
yeah.
took it to the next level.
Yeah, we started talking on the phone to make sure that we were absolutely positively real. This was way before the internet dating was popular. It was still taboo back in 2000. And we had just changed. Remember, the world was going to blow up because it was Y2K, fill your bathtubs, kiss your kids, and nothing happened.
And meanwhile, a lot of folk were still in dial-up hell.
Yes, yes. And the world was going to end, and turns out it was just Y2K. All right,
And what drew us together?
What drew us together was what we had in common. We were both single parents. He had his lovely daughter Abigail, and I have my son Stephen. They happen to be about a year apart in age.
Yeah.
Abigail is older, and we just talked about the trials and tribulations of being a single parent.
Yeah, and add into the fact our Christian faith.
Yes, we both love the Lord. Yes.
And
I think at what time
there was more.
Yeah.
Despite what would seem like things that might say, "Hey, wait a minute," we have more in common than we had.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay. The next question.
When did we meet in person?
When did we meet in person? Well, in September of 2000,
yeah.
I took vacation. My mom thought I was out of my cotton picking mind. I took vacation and I bought a round trip ticket to Connecticut. I was living in Arizona, and I came to see Mr. Bob. I had plans, or I had backup money to stay in a hotel. He wanted me to stay at his house. I felt okay with that. But if I didn't, I had backup money to go to a hotel. And when I got to his house, well, actually, when I landed, okay, it started when I landed. He was waiting for me. And the minute I came down the gateway and came on into the building, he grabbed me and gave me this big old kiss. And I was so embarrassed because it happened so fast. I'm like, yo, I just met you. You're already doing PDA. And then he grabbed my hand and he walked me down the baggage claim.
But by then I had already proposed to you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Before I came to see him, he had already proposed online on July 30th of that year. So, yeah, in September I came to see him. And that was the first time we met in person. We spent a lovely week together. Let me tell you how much he trusted me. He didn't have any vacation time at the time. So he got up and went to work every day and left me in his house. And I could have went through his whole, and I watched TV the whole day, until he got back home, and we would have dinner and so on and so forth. And prior to that, during our I'm gonna just say telephone relationship before we ever met, we were calling each other and waking each other up for work every day. Remember that?
Yep.
I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and call him to wake him up to go to work because he was on days. And then when he took his break, he would call me
to make sure that you were up.
to make sure I got up. Now, none of this was necessary. I mean, we both were functioning parents, but our relationship led us to do that. That we instantly was like looking out for one another. I remember that, getting up to call you, and then you would get up and call me, and we sometimes we call each other in the middle of the day. We had to keep up with the time difference because Arizona is behind the East Coast. So.
And then there was the time when your computer decided to go south on you.
My computer crashed, or whatever you want to call it. And Mr. Bob, in his big heart, he bought me a motherboard?
No, a new modem.
A new modem, and he even got on the phone with me and helped me walked me through how the installation. And I was back online.
Yeah.
And so the most important thing that happened in September, on September 10th, before I went home on September 10th, which happens to be my best friend's birthday, by the way. That's next week coming up. I gotta send her something really special. I think it was either the 8th or the 9th. His phone rang at his house. I didn't pick up his phone because I don't live there. But the caller ID said, was it Sales or K's? One of them. And I picked it up. And they said, could you tell, Mr. Wilcox that his order is ready for pickup? So when he came home from work, I said, the jewelry store called and said that your order is ready for pickup. Oh, he said, okay, I'll be right back. And I said, are you not taking me with you? And he said, no, I'll be right back. So I just knew, because he had already taken me shopping and bought me shoes, because I was working 2 jobs, and he said I need to have good shoes on my feet. And I was cheapskate. Remember, I was a single mom, so I went to Payless. He took me to, I don't know, some shoe store, Foot Locker, and they wanted, $50 for a pair of shoes? And I thought he was out of his giddy freaking mind, but the man wanted to pamper me, so I was like, okay. Now, mind you, I wasn't on welfare or anything like that. I lived in a gated community in the suburbs with my boy, working 2 jobs, had my own car, all of that. Even bought a new car for our trip because that's coming up. I'll let you know. But then, before he came back from the jewelry store, and I thought he just got me a little something, a little gift. And we had dinner, and standing in his living room, he came up to me and he hugged me and he says, I really love you. I said, I love you too. We really get along. And next thing you know, he dropped to one knee and opened up this little box, and he said, will you marry me? Now, he had already asked me online. Everybody saw it like, oh my God, he's proposing this. That's so sweet. So this time he was asking me in person. And my answer still was yes. And I was cool, calm, and collected, happy until he slid that ring on my finger. And I started hyperventilating, y'all. I couldn't believe it. All of a sudden, he had to grab me. I thought I was going to pass out. Now, this is what I've been praying for the Lord knows how long. Lord, send me a husband. Lord, send me. And then when he do, I turn around and doggone pass out on the man when he put the ring on it. And so the thing I remember also from that trip, not only did I go home with a ring on my hand, but his precious daughter, she hugged me at the airport and begged me not to leave. And I told her I have to go home to my son. I can't just not go back. But I told her that I would come back again, and I did.
And that leads us into the next question, is how the kids met.
Yep, the next question was how the kids met. So that was in September. I planned another trip back Y'all, I must have had a lot of vacation, right? I came back the second time in December, right?
No, I believe it was January.
Was it
Yeah, it was.
January?
Yeah, it was
Because the kids were
January.
on
So
school
you had.
break.
So we both had a fresh bag of
A
vacation.
vacation, yes. I came back with my son. My son had never seen snow before. It was cold as God knows what. I believe you were below zero. I
Mm-hmm.
had my son bundled up like an Eskimo. He could barely walk because he was born in Arizona. He don't know snow. He don't know cold. Cold in Arizona is 60 degrees. People bundled up at 60 degrees in Arizona. So this below zero stuff, he didn't know about this. I did. I grew up in New York, so I know about snow. And we get to his house. They picked us up at the airport. We get to his house, and the kids are sitting in the living room talking to each other, watching TV. Abigail was quite the little hostess to my son, and the two of them got along pretty good. And then we sat them down and we told them that we would like to get married and
Mm-hmm.
be a family, and if we had their blessing. And they said
Yep.
yes. So that meant that they would be brother and sister. Next
Which
question.
that was
That
the
was
next question is how they reacted.
how they reacted. They were both excited. When Bob proposed to me back in July online, I told my son, because I had broke down and started crying because he proposed to me online in front of everybody, but then he called me on the phone and actually asked me.
That's because she has sent a say. Does this mean what
Well,
I
I
think
think it
it
means,
means?
yeah.
And my life flashed before my eyes, and I said, yes, it means exactly what you think it means.
Tell them what your words were, what you said.
I said that I had plucked a star from the sky and set it on Cheryl's left ring finger.
So I thought, is this man proposing to me? I know we had been tossing the idea around. So when he did that, I kind of stopped typing. And that's when the phone rang. And he asked me again, will you marry me? And I said yes. And I started crying. And my son came over to me. He said, Mom, why are you crying? And I said, his handle was Flora. I said, Flora asked me to marry him. He said, what did you say? I said yes. And my son started jumping up and down saying, I'm getting a daddy. I'm getting a. That made me bawl even more. I still get teared up thinking about it. He was like, I'm getting a daddy. I'm getting a daddy. I never knew how important it was for him. Now, his dad was in and out of his life. I never stopped him from coming to see his son, but he just wasn't trying to be a dad. He was living his life. So,
Meanwhile, I am proud to call Stephen my son.
yes, yes. So, what's the next? So, when they met, they had fun. We came down. They did snow angels. We went sledding. It was a major snowstorm, so
Yeah,
Bob was off work.
yeah. It was the first snow day Sikorsky had declared in about 16 years.
Yeah. So just it all worked out. God worked it all out. And then me and my son had to go back to Arizona, and that's when I turned in my notice 2 months early. And I said, I'm going to be moving to Connecticut. And I told him, I said, you come get me. And sure enough,
That's
in
the next
February,
question.
him and Abigail, well, go ahead and read the question. I don't want to jump ahead.
How did we survive the trip from Arizona to Connecticut?
Yes, so him and Abigail flew out to Arizona, and he
And
helped
I
me
had
empty.
planned this puppy
Yeah,
out.
yeah, he
This is
did.
back in the days before
There was no
widespread
GPS.
GPS.
Yeah, he had
There were no
maps.
smartphones. They didn't have none of that sort of nonsense. They didn't have these fancy Tom Toms or Garmins or anything.
Nah.
No, you had Microsoft Streets and Trips or MapQuest. I had Streets and Trips.
Yep, he had a suitcase full of maps. He mapped out the whole driving thing. So they landed. My mom had taken me up there, and we got a flat tire going to my job because I wanted him to meet the people that I worked with, so that they could see. Because they had only seen one little picture in my cubicle that I have of him, and they know that when I came back in September that he had put a ring on it, So they was like, "Who's this mystery man?" And so, even when I went to go see him in September, they all thought I was crazy. One of them called me and said, "Is he an axe murderer?" And I'm like, "No, he's a real sweet guy." And, I'll never forget the first kiss he gave me in his apartment. And I thought, oh God, he's going to want sex. But nope, he gave me the kiss, and that was it. He was a perfect gentleman. I couldn't believe it. Because most guys would have been like, yo, she in my place. I'm getting ready. I got her to myself. I'm about to get busy. But nope, Bob was a perfect gentleman. I was like, he scored big brownie points on that. So I was like, okay, okay, you know.
Do it
So
right. Do it
yeah,
right.
they say you don't know a person till you live with them or you break bread with them. So, and I happened to live with them for a week. Cause
Oh, and speaking of breaking bread, the first time we actually had a meal together,
yes, he took me to Friendlies.
he went to the ice cream joint, and she reaches across and brushes my hair, wondering if it
If it
was
was
real.
real, I asked him. I said, "Is that real?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "You got a comb with you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You need to use it." So already I was being a wife. Huh?
Yeah,
I was telling him he needed to come
we were
here.
so meant to be together. It ain't even
I
funny.
know. It's so, because we both told each other if we had just seen each other in the mall, at a store sign, we wouldn't have given each other the time of day. We wouldn't even noticed each other. But the way God did it, He had us be friends and fall in love without even seeing each other. I'll never forget the day I sent him my picture. I was so nervous, but he saw me and he says, "Oh, you're so beautiful. I loved you." And I just couldn't believe it, because I was a big girl. I mean, in this picture, yeah, that's about the size I was. I was a big girl. I wasn't skinny, and all the guys wanted skinny girls, So that's why I was always praying, Lord, send me the right person that was gonna love me, not use and abuse me, because I've been through a couple of those. Bob is the only man number six that I've ever had in my whole life. So I've been pretty conservative with my body because it just means a lot to me. Remember, the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, so you got to be careful what you let in your temple, whether you eat it or otherwise other means, and you got to be careful because there's other spirits and stuff out there that can make havoc of your life. But moving on,
But Abby and I, in February of 2001,
flew
flew
out,
out to Phoenix.
right? Help me
We
pack
we,
up my
we helped
apartment.
we helped Cheryl pack and Stephen pack up the apartment,
Hit that.
and we proceeded to pack up her '98 Cavalier.
Yes, I had went and got a brand new car. That was an experience too. The guy was trying to give me a hard time, and I called Bob and told him, "Tell this man to give me my car keys." He didn't want to give me my car keys to the car I drove there with, and I was like, "No, you don't get to keep both cars." But I did get my '98 Chevy Cavalier, and let me tell you, my '98 sitting in the driveway right now. We're not driving her anymore because she old. I'm getting ready to donate her, but yeah, she drove us from Arizona to Connecticut with not so much as a burp.
And we had that thing packed to
Yeah,
the
she was.
gills.
The trunk was packed. The back seat was packed with two kids plus whatever we could fit in between them.
It was like a four-seat fighter cockpit. There wasn't no room for nothing.
No, but we did so well, and the kids did well. They played with their gadgets or whatever. I think Steven had a Game Boy or something. I don't know.
He had some sort of gadget,
Yeah.
but Phoenix to El Paso
Okay.
on the first day,
Yep.
El Paso to just east of Dallas the second day,
Right.
just east of Dallas to just short of Charlotte the third
Right.
day, and
That was the one we pulled that 16 hour.
uh-huh.
Yeah, because my mom told us because we were an interracial couple not to stop in the South. So we pushed it to just cross the Charlotte line, which because we were going to a sister's house, and we grabbed a hotel because we were beat.
Yeah, we were trying to make it to my sister's house, but
Yeah,
we had plenty of gas in the car, but our bodies had
yeah,
none left to be
because we were
had.
we were sharing the driving. And yeah, 16 hours was a long
Yeah,
time.
we was just flat out of it. So we grabbed a motel, grabbed some sleep. Next morning we
Made it to your sister's.
made it to my sister's and took the day off.
Yep, spent the night at your sister's, got to know your sister a little bit. And then we
And
went from your sister's to Connecticut, right?
yep,
Yep.
and we ran out of body endurance on that leg too.
Yeah,
But
craziness.
fortunately, we made it to the house
We did.
just in the nick of freaking time.
Time. We did, because you had to go back to work and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what a trip that was. What's the next question?
And what challenges have we had to face in
What
the way
challenges have we had to face?
in the way of age,
Well, first
race,
of all,
social?
Bob is 14 years older than me. And I was afraid to tell my mom, not that he was white, but that he was 14 years older than me. And when I told her, she said, "Well, don't you know your stepfather was 20 years older than me?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." And she said, "It's better to be an old man's darling than to be a young man's fool." And I said, "Okay, mama." So she had open arms for Bob.
Yeah, she was a wise woman.
Yes.
God rest her soul.
Did you face any challenges with the age?
Uh,
Did they say you were robbing the cradle or
I
anything?
got a couple of guys breaking my chops, but nothing really serious in that regard.
Okay, so the next thing is race, right?
Yeah.
I really didn't have any problems except for a couple of my friends was like, "Ooh, Cheryl likes cream in her coffee." That was about it. There was nobody that really gave me a hard time about being with the white man.
Well, at work, I got none of that because I was by no means the only interracial couple amongst my peers.
Right, right. Now,
Now, amongst the family, that
that's
was another
different.
story.
Yeah. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I'm not going to put all our dirty laundry out there, but let's just
Let's
say the family was challenged with accepting me or accepting him loving me. And I'm going to leave it at that. God worked it out. It is what it is.
and it eventually came to good fruition.
Yes.
But let's just say it was interesting getting there.
Yeah. Everybody had their I was called everything but a child of God. At first, I was a gold digger. I was a welfare, whatever, jump back, or whatever they call them these days, jump offs, jump back, whatever. I was called, even though I had two jobs, a car, my own apartment, raising my kid, just doing my thing, and I tell everybody, I didn't need Bob. Bob was a nice addition to my life, but I didn't need Bob. I was doing the darn thing, and that's why I said God had to really work on me, um, because I was stubborn and I was very independent. My mama raised me to be an independent, strong black independent woman because, that don't need a man, but if one comes around, and it's a blessing, so be it. So that was the only thing. And he had got the approval not only from my mom, but also from my pastor.
Yeah.
My pastor signed off on him. So I knew it was God. I knew it was God because he had to prepare my heart to receive Bob. Because one time in church, I remember, let me tell you something. You don't play when it comes to God. If you ask him to show you anything that you need to deal with, he will. And that was something he showed me. And I I guess I had a crush on Tom Selleck. He's a TV star or whatever. I never expect Tom Selleck to knock on my door or anything like that. But I never thought that God would put me with a white man because I was always about the brothers. I never ever looked at a Caucasian man with real, like, oh my God. Like I said, I like the Fonz and I like Tom Selleck, but that was because they was on TV. They were fictional characters. So, but yeah, I was in church and I never believed, I cried so bad because God showed me, he said, I had a prejudice. And I didn't think so. As many white people as I work with and stuff like that. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but back then it was white and black.
Well,
And it just, I did realize it. I guess we never know what's in our heart until we ask God to show us. So once I repented and cried and snotted and got it all out of me, the church I was at, the pastor and his wife were an interracial couple, and they ministered to me, and here I am.
yeah,
Here I am. I
and
don't look at his skin, I look at his heart. And Bob has a heart of gold. He's loyal. He brings home the paycheck. He don't even go hang out with the guys. Not that I don't let him do that. He just chooses not to. And I mean, he looks out for this family through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I gotta give him his props. I gotta give him his props. And everybody seems to love him. All my crafty friends love you.
and but you also, it we don't call it Team Wilcox for nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Because where I drop the ball, you pick it up, and vice versa.
Well, the two shall become one.
Amen.
What's the next question?
Uh, when and how did I propose? And I think
We talked
covered
about
that.
yeah. We talked about when you proposed.
And so the wedding
Our wedding.
and the myriad forms thereof.
Well, the picture you're looking at was our first ceremony that we had.
On September 1st,
On
2001.
September 1st, 2001, in a gazebo in the middle of town here in Milford, Connecticut. We had so much fun. The dress fit perfectly. I asked for the flowers, the extra flowers to be on the shoulders. And because I'm short, there was a couple of extra flowers. So I gave one flower off my dress to each mom. And Abigail was my flower girl.
Yeah.
Stephen was the ring boy, I guess you
Ring
call
bearer.
it, ring bearer. We had a friend of mine sing Ave Maria because
Yeah.
I love that song. And then we sang to each other, from this moment,
Life has begun.
from this moment, you are the one.
Right
Beside you is where I belong. From this moment on. Yes.
As a matter of
Hit the
fact,
thing.
that picture is when we were singing it.
Yep. Yep. We were singing it to each other. And
That was more of our vows than our vows were.
can I tell you, after that wedding, I didn't want to hear that song ever again. Oh, we rehearsed it so many times. I was fried on that song. And then we went, and then we had Luther Vandross.
Here and now.
Here and that was our dance. Our first dance was to Luther Vandross, Here and Now. I promise to love faithfully.
Actually, wasn't that the processional too?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Possibly,
right.
yeah. Yeah, I think I did march into that.
That was the processional.
Wow. But we danced to it too at the reception.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's the next question?
Oh, we continue with it because honeymoons and stuff.
Yes. So we took our first honeymoon. We took.
Was kind of limited.
Dude, did you hear that?
Yeah, gutter ball.
Gutter balls. You guys, right now we are getting hit by Storm Ida. What's left over from,
her?
and she ain't playing. So if she rocking us and she just a storm now, I hate to see what Louisiana went through.
Yeah, they got clobbered.
Yeah, they did. So let's finish this before the lights go out. Anyway, so our first honeymoon, we went to an amusement park, and we went with my mom because she had come down for the wedding, and the kids, and we had a good time. But the second,
and I got her on the Ferris wheel.
is that when I went on the Ferris wheel and left my fingerprints in there?
Yeah, she grabbed it on the center pole for dear life.
You guys, I do not do heights, okay? And I was scared to freaking death. I grabbed onto that pole, I put my head down, and I was like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Is it over yet? Oh gosh, I remember that. Oh, you guys, the things you do for your family. Oh, traumatized, traumatized.
And you even went on the roller coaster once.
One is that the one that we got wet on?
No,
Oh, okay.
we did that too,
Yeah.
but we also went on the roller coaster,
Yes, we did. Was that the wooden
Boulder
one?
Dash.
That was that the wooden one?
Yeah,
Yes, I remember that. Oh,
and
okay.
again, your fear of heights kicked in,
Yes.
but and you haven't done haven't done a roller coaster since.
Nope.
But it was the things we do for our kids.
Yeah.
To show
Yeah.
them the
We
mom and
love them.
dad got the guts to do it.
Yep. Yep. And so the second real honeymoon we took, because we had kids and we had an instant family, you guys. So, and we weren't made out of money. We were older, so it wasn't like our parents was handing us thousands of dollars to get married or anything like this. This was number two wedding for both of us, by the way, too. Well, this is our second marriage. Each of us had been married before and had kids. You know, he had Abigail, I had Steven. So this was number two for us. So we didn't have family throwing a bunch of money at us to get married and stuff like that. So in our for our 10th anniversary, 10 years married, we took our first real honeymoon, and that was a 9-day cruise, Royal Caribbean,
Yeah,
right?
Royal Caribbean
And we
is
went
the
to
Explorer of the Seas.
explore the seas, yeah, and we also renewed our vows on that trip.
Yeah,
So
we went to Bermuda,
yep,
and between Bermuda
St.
and
Martin,
St. Martin,
right?
it was, during a day at sea, we renewed our vows.
Right, and I remember there was a couple more. We hit San Juan,
Eh, it was St. Martin, St. Thomas, San Juan, and
San
back to New York.
and back to New York. Yeah, we sailed out of Bayonne, New
Bayonne.
Jersey. Bayonne. All right, so that's the honeymoons.
And it was beautiful. I would
Yeah,
do
it
that
was.
again
Yeah,
and again and
I got a
again.
little homesick. 9 days was a long time on the waters. I got a little homesick, but he was like, "Yo, I'm chilling like a villain." He was sitting out there. We always get a balcony. Bob loves the balcony, so we always get a balcony cabin, and he sits out there and reads or whatever and watches the water.
And back then I was still a
He
smoker,
was still a smoker back then. Yeah, he has
and
since stopped.
I could step out there for
Yep, and didn't have to
indulge
leave
my
me.
bad habit
Yep,
without going too far from her.
that's true. Especially the strangers on a boat. You don't know nobody other than the people we traveled with. Okay, next question. My arm's getting dead.
Eh, what would we?
Oh, the question. Don't.
What would
What
you
will we
change about
change?
me and vice versa?
One thing I would change about you after 20 years being your wifey is I would like for him to have less time on the internet. Um, I feel like the internet is the mistress that comes in our bed with us, and you know, I can't complain too loudly because I be on the phone too now because I used to be bored while he was talking to his friends all around the world and having his little political debates and whatever. Um, I kind of was laying there like, yo, remember me? So that would be the one thing. That would be the one thing. Everything else is copacetic. You're a hard worker. I don't have to kick you out of here to go to work. You bring the money home. You don't beat me. You don't belittle. You don't talk. There's no abuse of any kind.
Now,
Any,
I don't believe in that sort of nonsense to begin with. I have
yeah.
no compunction about it.
And if you did, I've always told you I hit back.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them
uh,
soft chicks.
you
I'm
know,
from the hood.
praise God for that because I have no compunction about defending
Yeah,
a woman from an abuser.
yeah. So I'm interested to know, darling. What is one thing you would change about me?
Uh, Maybe to budget your craft expenses just a little.
Okay, that's honest. That's real. From somebody who dropped what damn near $300 on craft supplies last week, and then probably another 100 this week. So yeah, but
Yeah,
I
because we're
yeah
both we both want to save
to
for
move. Yes.
and we both got to do our part.
Yeah. Well, mine is a business investment because
Yeah, it is.
CherylsCraftyWorld.com is a real store. And she about to be really packed because the holidays are coming. And I want people to get their stuff early. And, because,
You come early, come often.
yeah, because USPS is, yeah,
It takes their sweet behind time.
yeah. So but he doesn't have to worry about that anymore because God has really been touching my heart to use what I have. So I'm going to create, and I love a challenge. So I'm going to create with what I have, and I need to use it up, and we need to start emptying out the house anyway because, like I said, we want to sell the house and move to Arizona to retire there. And at first we were mostly going because of my mom. But those of you that know me know that my mom passed this recent May, and it's only been 90 days, a little over 90 days, and I'm still dealing with her being gone, but I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
I'm tough, still handling some of her um, affairs, but other than that, I'm doing okay. I think once the funeral was done, then I had the chance to just kind of catch my breath and really grieve and cry and mourn and go through my motions and stuff. But from the day she died till the day of the funeral, it was run, circle, scream, and shout. And I had to do it all from bed, you guys, because I'm disabled and bedbound here in Connecticut, currently bedbound, because I know God's going to get me back on my feet. And
And we're both claiming that in the name of Jesus.
it wasn't easy. Thank God for my best friend Cindy. We've been best friends for over 32 years, and she lives in Arizona, and that's who I'm gonna be growing old with and having tea. And our granddaughters are like a month apart in age and stuff like that. So, um, we see them becoming good friends, and they're both mixed. So when I say mixed, I mean half white, half black. My son's daughter. So
Interracial.
interracial kids, yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta be PC, right?
Quiet.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to moving to Arizona. But I thank God for I call her my sister because she really helped me. Some of the people I went to church with before I left Arizona. For those of you that don't know, I come out of Church of God in Christ. Um, Now I'm non-denominational. But you know what? I just love the Lord. Call me what you will. I just love the Lord. Um, and whoo, we went black, honey. We went black.
Once you go black, you never go back.
Ooh, I didn't say that. You did. I didn't say that. You did.
And I'm proud of it.
So anyway, we're getting ready to wrap this up. That was
I
the
am.
last question, right?
Yep.
What will we change about each other? Okay, so for him, it would be less internet, and for me, stop buying up everything in the world crafty. Stop trying to make Michael jealous. I can take it.
But I would not ever stop you from getting what you need
Oh
for
yeah,
a project or for the business.
right. I don't need anything right now. The only thing I need is time to just create, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to just taking what I have, making things with it, putting it in the store, or doing some flash sales on YouTube or some pop-up sales on Instagram. I'm looking forward to starting a TikTok for Cheryl's Crafty World and just taking it to another level. That's what I'm doing all this audible reading for, reading how to build up your YouTube channel and so forth. So that's about it, you guys. We want to thank you for your time, and we hope you enjoy our love story. This is us. We're still together. We're still going strong. We're just like any other couple. We have disagreements over money and bills and all that good stuff, and time, and yep, all that stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, we still love each other. At the end of the day, we have a goal that we're trying to reach together.
At the end of the day, the two shall become one.
And love covers a multitude of sins.
Team Wilcox, babe.
Team Wilcox. Wonder Twins, activate! You remember that? You remember that show? Yeah, you youngins might not know about that. Anyway, we hope that you are blessed. We hope that you are safe. This is Shirlene with Sales Cook the World.
.com.
A real store. Till next time. Bye for now.